Hi, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. Seemingly every day for the last week or so, I've been seeing more and more posts about the CNN article in which they reveal this eyebrow-raising, absolutely unbelievable evidence that natural hair is not popular in general conservative society. Apologies for the sarcasm. A group of Duke University scientists held a controlled experiment in which they concluded that black hairstyles, specified as afros, twists, and braids, are deemed less professional. Study participants of all different races, when asked to screen potential job candidates, gave black women lower scores when it came to competence and professionalism. Even in a situation where some saw the same candidate, one version with natural hair and one version with relaxed, the same candidate with the relaxed hair got more interviews. Note that this did not translate to creative industries. In the article, for instance, they specify that advertising didn't see this same trend. This video is not a Spark Notes on the article, and I have linked it below in case you'd like to take a look. But this is enough information where I wanted to come and offer my thoughts. And I hope to continue this conversation below in the comments. One of my subscribers first called this to my attention last week when we were going back and forth about her recent embarkment on the path to natural hair. She noted the issue of having to figure out how to wear her hair to work during this time and how it would translate once she was completely natural. I understood where she was coming from, but at the time I didn't even really consider the need to read the article because I felt like any professional in the natural hair community could have written an article with the same exact headline. We are aware that natural hair is a movement. It's controversial in some circles, essentially a thing requiring support. I really actually feel like I've been living in a little bit of a bubble since I discovered this online YouTube natural hair community. This is not even a quarantine thing where I've been living my natural hair life in the bubble of my own home. I know perception, and there were a couple of months when I was natural in the workplace, but all in all, I've actually felt really comfortable with my decision. Even again, when I was out in the world, because I knew that there were millions of people standing behind me on YouTube. This all comes back again to that pesky American ideal of the long silky hair and everyone's quest to achieve just that, no matter your race and your natural characteristics. I've somehow in my mind been able to knock that aside, but I felt like it was a process. Just because it is not accepted widely yet does not mean we should cave. Progressive changes take time, and given this is also a health issue for some people have been having adverse reactions for decades. Burning, cuts, irritation. But straightening hair is all they know, so every 8 weeks they go back into that salon, they apply that, as people call, creamy crack to their roots, and they straighten their hair. If you want to try out your natural hair, I say grow a thick skin and do it. I'm not going to come on here and pretend that this is an easy decision to make, because if it was, we wouldn't be talking about it. Speaking to my own experience, as I mentioned in several videos, my last treatment, it was a keratin treatment, was January of 2019. So I started my career with relaxed hair, and every professional movements that I've made, again, I had relaxed hair. So I haven't had the experience of needing to job hunt with my hair like it is right now. At the same time, in the beginning of my transition, one of my biggest fears was facing my coworkers with my new hair. I work in a corporate environment, and it is absolutely true that you very rarely see natural hair. And when you do, people take notice. Countless times in the last several months, a completely esoteric conversation about how the financial industry is moving will suddenly turn to, "Amanda, what did you do with your hair?" Always followed by an either sincere or insincere, "I love it." Do they? I don't know. And I guess at this point, I actually no longer care. Not for that to sound mean, it's actually just really awkward. Why are you calling out someone's hairstyle in the middle of a meeting? You're relatively early on post Big Chop and your hair is short, it's never looked like this before. You don't want 20 people looking at you and judging your hair. It's just awkward. And to speak to back when I was transitioning, the fact is transitioning hair is difficult and can be at times unattractive. Let's be honest. For the first 6, probably maybe 7 months, I could pretty much get away with it. But when you progress in that particular journey, the distinction between your roots and your relaxed ends is a lot harder to hide. Asking that you don't come for me by saying transitioning hair is not beautiful. As I mentioned in my 6-month post-big chop video, relaxed hair can be beautiful, natural hair can be beautiful, but relaxed hair and natural hair coexisting on the same head, it's just not. I always just ended up solving that issue with tons of headbands and tons of hair ties. My one key piece of advice for people transitioning and facing this same struggle is wait until your hair is at least long enough to keep comfortably in a bun. And I say comfortably because let's remember here, we're on a healthy hair journey. And in that same vein, my advice to you, do not straighten your roots on a weekly basis to match your relaxed hair. I did that from January until April, at which time I decided I was no longer applying heat to my hair. But other than that, every single week I would wash my hair, I would blow dry it, and I would flat iron the HE-ul out of it. I just can't curse. It's just not one of the things that I'm able to do. It took me 11 months to reach a point where I could cut off my relaxed ends and still fit most of my hair in a bun. I had thought that when I chopped it that I would be able to fit all of my hair. It didn't quite work like that, but I also got a little bit scissor happy. So that was a little bit of a struggle, but I would say that only lasted for like a month or two. So I would just say, when you're doing your big chop, make sure you have some bobby pins on hand because you're gonna need them to get those sleek buns, specifically the small ones. I have them linked below, but there are some really, really good small bobby pins. If you relax your hair to conform, you perpetuate the injustice. If you don't relax your hair, you might not get the job. And obviously, I can hardly give you advice on how to deal with people. People, by definition, are individuals, and some of them are very difficult and very unwavering and very stuck in their traditions and their preconceived stereotypes. So take that extra step. And in addition to finding the right job to fit your skills, look into a company and review their culture. Some companies are just in fact more accepting than others. And ugly as it is that the brutality and killing of Black lives is now driving some companies to consider that, hey, maybe we should be a little bit less racist. This is where we are, and you have to work with the times. It is, of course, unfair to require that a Black woman achieve and work twice as hard as her white counterpart, even her white curly-haired counterpart. But it is, again, the world we live in, and you can't get along ignoring that. And when you reach that top echelon with all of your hard work, you'll be in a position to help provoke change. We need more of us at the top. And again, you'll have worked harder to get there, so you're likely to perform better than your peers, and that'll only help your job. I do suggest, though, that you not be bitter with your coworkers for these current circumstances. While it is easy to envy them in certain situations, they are essentially the object of society's affection. They didn't ask for it. They were born that way, the same way you were born your way. Many people are very accepting and very good. Find those people, make friends, and build that network, because the more people you have behind you in the workplace, the less hurdles you will have to jump, and you could take your hair along with it. What are your thoughts? What are your experiences? Do you work for a company, and keep compliance rules in mind, don't tell me where you work, that is more or is blatantly less accepting of people with natural hair? Let's talk. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Thanks, and have a good one.